Dímelo. Listo, tiempo para el Mundial Semifinal número 2. Y aquí estamos en vivo por todas las redes de JefeBet. What's up, Ozzie? It's semifinal number 2. We're going to do a little Spanish and English thanks to our buddies at PointsBet, pointsbet.com. That's going to be the platform we're using tonight to do some live betting. Ozzie, you got the hot hand, my brother.
I did. Excited to be here. Semifinals, a huge game for Morocco. They've battled their way into this group, but I played the French hand. I played Mbappe. Okay, with our friends at PointsBet, they had a parlay that they made it very easy for me to just go and click at plus 475 before I added the daily boost, which it took me all the way up to, I believe, 527. And that parlay was a three-leg parlay. I got France versus Morocco, anytime goal scorer Mbappe. Match result, obviously France winning, and that can happen any way, shape, or form, 90 minutes, extra time, or in penalties. And then the total goals to be under 2.5. Again, Morocco has not been scored on yet. So, again, the road here from Morocco, they beat Croatia, Canada, Belgium, Portugal, Spain, the who's who of European soccer. Yeah. And here they are facing off the crown jewel of the last World Cup, France.
Well, I'll tell you what, the bets that I'm liking, I like that there's a great parlay at PointsBet where you go that France wins the match and both teams score. That's at plus 320. I love France in penalties, plus 850, and Morocco in penalties, 11-1. I do like the under 2.5 goals at minus 150. That stingy Moroccan defense has been amazing, and there's a great boost at PointsBet. Mbappe scores, and Mbappe had an anytime goal for Mbappe. It got boosted from plus 105 to plus 150, and of course, I usually bet my any team, both teams scores at plus 150. So they have gotten underway for a date on Sunday against Argentina. Amazing for Morocco, first African-based African continent squad to make it this far in the World Cup, and they're plus 550 to win this match.
We had a little bit of
plus 290.
We had a little bit of controversy, okay, because a lot of people were saying that they're not an African country. Why were we saying that they were an African country? And people in Africa say they're on the continent. Again, religion does not make you where you're from, so they are in the continent. So, again, they're an Arab country because of religious views and whatnot, but they are an African country. They're in the continent.
They are an African nation, absolutely.
Again, here's the part that's huge for FIFA. That's where they have that's how they get in. Okay, they don't play. They play in the leagues considered the African League. Morocco. There's a system in getting into the World Cup. Again, a system that you can bet on who's going to qualify, especially for the next World Cup, is going to be a big deal. So that's why representing them for Africa, it's huge, especially in the money pool. Because remember, everyone, we're playing for money. These guys are playing for money. Huge difference between third and fourth place. Okay, millions and millions of dollars. And even between third and second place, yes, you get to play in the finals, but the guaranteed money that you have by just winning and getting into the finals, it is huge for a nation.
Yeah, and everybody's talking about obviously France, the defending champions, under 2.5 goals, which is interesting. When you look at Morocco, though, that defense, Ozzie, I mean, they have not given up more than 1 goal in a game. You got to go back to September of 2021. I mean, they are just they bottleneck you there. It almost looked like that Charger defense against the Dolphins the other night. They just bottleneck you and they can't do anything. And we'll talk a little NFL at halftime as well. But this is the second World Cup semifinal for a date with Argentina. PointsBet, that's the platform, pointsbet.com. Great place. You got lightning bets. We're going to get into that. We'll have Mike Rugo with us, maybe some surprises down as we go through the show. Listen, the bar is high. That Argentina-Croatia match we did, that other quarterfinal.
We won money on that
ridiculous.
One. We won money on that one. That one paid out. So right now we have a total of 122 possible wagers in the game at PointsBet. We're looking at American odds. I always remind people, if you want to look at the different odds, go into the settings of your PointsBet app. I know the Americans like the plus system, but if you like the, your mathematical skills are better with decimal points or fractions, we can change that up. Odds display preference. You can change the odds display preference as you can change decimals and fraction. So this is about a 1 in 23 chances that it would happen. So that's what plus 123 means. And you can change languages. So very friendly when it comes
We can
to
change languages too. Te podemos hablar en español aquí,
como tú
Argentina,
quieras, como
en
tú
el
quieras.
final, ahora viene Francia contra Morocco. So we can change it up with you. So you change it, we can change it. It's all good here. By the way, Ozzie, where can we find you on the old social media channels?
Mira, I'm doing it right now. Guillén Jr. On Twitter and on Instagram. And then El Mundo Guillén on the Instagram page for the show. But so what we posting on there, I usually tag most when I'm doing good, tag you on most of my posts that are regards to putting action on the game. Believe it or not, my first action of the game today, because I woke up early, was on a Division II soccer match from Egypt.
That's discipline. That's discipline and dedication, my brother.
That's how diverse PointsBet is. Division II soccer, Egypt.
I'm waiting for, it's raining in Miami and there's 2 raindrops going down a skyrise in downtown. Which raindrop's going to hit the ground first? That's what I'm waiting. And I'm sure PointsBet will get that and they'll have some good odds for me there. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JRod Show, JRod Show. We post our daily bets every day, Monday through Friday. We do all our bets and we did pretty well last night. Yesterday, we told you to take the under in the Kings 76ers game. We sweated a little bit, but we won.
Francia. Right? There we go.
France and that didn't take long at all. France is on the board. It's 1-0. Okay. Wow.
So 1-0. Okay. That's
5 minutes in.
So here's the part where it gets interesting. So total goals is still at plus 130 at 3.5. So you got to want to take that action right there. You're definitely going to want to take it. Early in the match, again, before that changes. That is crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. Right off the bat, Hernandez puts it right in. And this is what happened yesterday with Argentina. Okay.
Right.
Early goal.
Got him early.
They got him early. And now you're just trying to put the keep away. Like keep away, meaning and put him away.
By the way, it's obviously those French Hernandez's they get him on the board. But La Raza in France. I love it.
You know what? People are on social media asking themselves of color of skin of players. And my wife said, Ozzie, what is this about? And I said, honey, people like having intercourse with other people. The people can't realize that. They think they're like in the 19th.
Hey, they're French. What do you mean?
I know they're French. The French. But again, this is a part though when we're making
the language of love, right?
And again, this affected the line. So no team has gone back-to-back World Cup champions since the 62 Brazil. I believe it was 62. They've done it. It has not been done in a long time. It's been flirted with. Actually, France beat Brazil back in the 90s when they tried to do it. France has tried once before. They have failed in the Sedan days, but they're trying to do it. And the part where this is very interesting, man, I have this man sitting behind me right there. This guy right here, he's got 3 World Cups. That's why Mbappe is playing for. With today's match, if he scores today, he's already on pace to pass Pelé and Messi and Ronaldo in goals scored, meaning if he keeps playing and stays healthy in the World Cups. Okay? By him winning this World Cup, that puts him at 2. That gives him about a 2 tournament run to try to go for 1 more. Because in the story with Pelé was, Pelé played 3. He was healthy for all 3. He went to 4. He got hurt in 1. Foot injury, couldn't finish. Brazil finished 11th. So everyone's talking about the Messi. Again, these stories are going there. And that all comes into when I'm making a bet into a motivation. Okay, because obviously everyone's motivated on their side. And what we look and what media tells us, and Messi, and he's leaving, he's a GOAT. And you got there Mbappe saying, if you really want to be the greatest of all time, you're going to be a game changer. You really want to be the top. And I think everybody wants to be that. That's why I took him today for the goal, because he really wants to show up, to do that.
I'll tell you what, we checking over at PointsBet, the live betting situation now. Boy, talk about the lines have skewered now after that goal by France. Now, the match result, the money line, you could say, France now minus 500 after that goal. It went from minus 170 to minus 500. The draw now plus 475, went up from 290 to 475. And Morocco, who started the match at plus 550, they're now 17-1 to win the match. They went from 5.5 to 17-1. And if you still want to live dangerously and go under 2.5 goals, now it went from minus 150 to plus 150. I might jump on that plus 150.
No, correct.
And the Morocco defense clamps down a little bit.
No, for sure. And the part that's interesting is when we're looking at the odds is the ones that are also going to change. Obviously, these lightning bets are going to be firing, but also the correct score. So we got 1-0 France plus 600. The market that I like to look at right now, again, with the half going on, is if you're looking at the half. So right now, as a gamble, as a fan, you're like, no jodimo. Morocco's done. They're out. They're not breathing. This happens often in football, and people wonder, Ozzie, how come you're so into the game? Because I'm never out of it. Okay. So
That's right.
I'm never out of it. I'm never out of it when I'm placing here in PointsBet. Okay. So they're giving me the over under on goals. So I can still make plus money if I say that they're not going to score anymore. So obviously Morocco wants no one to score because obviously they want to keep the game as close as possible. But then you can go for the draw and hedge that bet, because if they do score and you lose that bet of under 1.5, you're probably going to hit the draw bet. And that's plus 500. So you're betting plus 125. Your goal right here is you can put, $5 here and then put, $5 here, and if you lose, you're going to hit the other one. So that's something that you do in the live betting, for when it comes to that, because you're going to hit one or the other. And you might go heavier, obviously, on the plus 125, because obviously the odds are a lot smaller than if you put, a couple bucks on the draw. You won't lose that much. But if you do win, you're hitting plus 500. So that's where Miss Lauren, my math teacher's math classes come in. And again, there's calculators, there's no shame in that. I'm not a math genius, but these are the things that you kind of navigate with PointsBet, that you have the ability to do that. They're giving you the ability to do this, which is amazing.
And even here on PointsBet, even if you don't want to do the math, you can do, like, as you're ready to make a bet, it'll do the math for you before you actually hit bet and do it for you. So you can say, okay, how much is this going to pay if I do this? It'll do it for you just before you hit click and you make that bet. And by the way, this goal now, if you go to the correct score market, a 1-1 draw jumped up from 650 to 800. It's now 8-1 for a 1-1 draw. I made a bet. It was going to be 2-1 France. That was my bet. And I got it in at plus 750. Now it's at plus 600. So it's also, obviously there's a fine line between betting early before the match starts. And then once it bets, hey, that Argentina-Netherlands match, remember, we got the correct score at 2-2, and we got it at 28-1.
Well, here you still got plus money. If you think France is going to go in, you can play the plus 225, 11.34 in the game. And again, this one's also the first half spread. You get the spread, so this minus 1.5. So if you again think that France is going to score again, just take that plus 160. So depending on how you see, Morocco obviously has slowed them down. And one of the markets, again, I'm going to keep. There's been no cards as of yet. I believe there's only been one corner. I'm going to look at my stats on that one. Let me see. Corner kicks, we got none. And then blocked, 2 shots on target. So again, quick action of scoring very fast, very early in the match. Let's check out some of these lightning bets.
Yeah, the live betting situation is the best. And you can get that at PointsBet.com, PointsBet USA on the social media. That way you can just jump in there, make those bets, get that account going, put in your deposit and make some cash, and watch us here on Dimelooo. We're on every weekend. We make our bets. We premiere the show on Friday. We make all the weekend bets for you that you're going to need. And we've done pretty well. You've made some cash if you hung out with us. So I expect you to see you on the weekend. And plus, we got more NFL NFL. We got week 15 and we got 3 Saturday games plus the Sunday games as well. So, and of course, we got a game tomorrow night, the usual Thursday night game. And we will be back live on Sunday morning. Indeed, the World Cup final. Ozzie, you got to get your coffee. It's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern.
If you ask Ozzie Sr., he's not going to have coffee. He said he's going to pretend that it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And I said, you better put your roncito in the coffee so my mom doesn't get mad at you. But everybody, I think I'm going to be at my parents' house and doing it. And someone just asked me, someone pinged me right now on the message, just told me to join the show. So you don't need to be like me right now in your office playing the way that I'm playing right now. This to me right now, this is what I do when I don't want to be around people. I am old and annoyed sometimes, and I'm watching a match and I'm working, I'm doing this. This is a great scenario, but one of the funnest things that I do is I'm out with my buddies. Okay, I watch a lot of football with friends. I don't watch, which is the weekend. I tend to not watch football alone as much as I do other sports. I got my phone with me. Okay, we already know that you're scrolling through your Instagram, looking at your exes, looking at your dreams, looking at scores potentially for other teams. I'll put my action out. My phone's obviously on my app, so I'm live betting while I'm talking to them. You're in a conversation now, and you have your phone and you pull it out. You know, it doesn't look awkward. And everyone's got their phones out. So everyone's got their phones out. Sure. Everyone's putting the action. So don't think that you don't have to show up at the bar, okay, or the family party with, with your laptop. You can. I've done it before, but you don't have to. Okay.
Yeah, that's listen. You got your tablets, you got your phones. You can do it, or you're doing your home setup. But if you're at the cigar lounge, having a little smoky treat, having a cocktail, pull it up, blah blah blah. Oh, look at what happened! Boom, watching the game.
I almost convinced my wife. Told I needed to smoke here in my office for the show because it was asked for by JefeBet.
What were the odds going into that?
That was very strong odds. It was not very good. It was Costa Rica beating France.
It was about plus $1 million.
Plus $1 million.
You were gonna be allowed to smoke in the home office.
Plus $1 million. Everybody always jokes that I got all my stuff back there, so it looks like I got my cigar. It looks like I smoke in here. It looks like it, but it's just I got the humidor back there, so we're good. It's like they're gonna start selling humidors, but with like a walking path to the outside. Because
pretty soon this whole room's going to be a humidor. Pretty soon, the way it works. So we're about a third of the way in to the first half. It's 1-0 France. A quick goal. About 5 minutes in, you're watching the live stream of France and Morocco right here on JefeBet.com, on the JefeBet YouTube channel. All thanks to PointsBet. They're the ones making this happen. I'm Jim Rodriguez with Ozzie Jr. Mike Ruger's going to join us. Maybe a couple of surprises going on as we get started here. We had such an amazing time with Argentina and the Netherlands that we're doing it again, and we're going to do the final on Sunday morning, Argentina against one of these two teams, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll be live again. I'll bring the bagels. You go ahead and bring the coffee or the assorted sundries that go in the coffee there, Ozzie.
And everybody's got, again, for me, everybody's asking me who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for who I'm taking action on. I'm looking at.
I'm rooting for me. My wallet, Team JRod wallet. That's what I'm rooting for.
But in our, obviously my brother's a huge Real Madrid fan. I got Ronaldo. Here, I'm a huge Madrid fan. Oh, that was goal number 2. Woo!
Oh, that was close.
My man, man. There he is, Mike Ruga, everybody.
I was trying to find my Messi jersey.
That's for Sunday.
I know, but I'm trying to get lucky all week.
Well, that's a different show. You're trying to get lucky all week, Mike. That's a different.
Man, this is Messi's World Cup, man.
Mike, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you lying down on your tummy? Are you doing tummy time right now?
How you know?
I could tell. I could tell. You're like one of those influencers on the beach, laying on you're doing tummy time right now. Look at you.
How many hours a day are you coming up with stuff laying down in your bed? Coming up with ideas and
it usually comes at night. Always comes after 10 p.m. Always.
In the bathroom, sitting down on the throne.
Yeah, usually not. Usually it's always late at night on the bed. Like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
All right, Mike. So listen, we had a wild one that Argentina-Netherlands match. Already we got a goal in this match. France leading 1-0.
Because I just got to the house. What minute did France score?
So it paid plus 500, no, plus 800 in Lightning Bet if you took a goal in the first 5 minutes. So I just took a corner in minute 20 through minute 24 at plus 190. So again, I'm gonna explain the unit bet. So again, the sizes of when I talk units, that's wager top, but it basically means the amount of money that I'm putting on a bet. So the amount of money that I'm putting on a bet prior to, if I'm saying France is going to win, is going to be much higher than a lightning bet that I'm betting for something that's going to happen in 5 minutes. Just like my bet for a parlay, depending on, what are the odds, it changes. I'm not going to put a huge unit on a plus 1,000 because the chances obviously are. Someone was asking me, what does a plus or minus means? It means the chances of probability of it's going to happen. So 1 in 19%, like 1 in 19 times. So that's what we're looking at. So right now, to be honest, the way that by France actually scoring, the odds for France scoring again, since Morocco has not allowed another goal, is extremely low. So like if we're betting next goal, I would probably mathematically, again, you're looking at emotions as different. I would bet Morocco because that's just the nature of the game. And in this World Cup, we've seen, especially in the semis, that both teams have scored. That one's been hitting on a consistent basis. And both teams scored. Shutouts don't happen. And actually, it did in Argentina, and Croatia should have scored a goal, but they didn't. But that's what you look at again, and you look at how they're playing and the motivation. Obviously, remember that France, the last game, they were up, and then they scored like in the minute 60 against them, and then they had to turn it up versus England. So again, Morocco's going all in, man. Morocco's dying on the pitch today.
Yeah.
Tell you what, there's a groovy little bet, minutes 20 through 24:59, that they're there will be no shots on. There will be no shots. That's plus 145.
So you don't think shots on goal.
No shots on goal. It's actually, it's a half. It's the hook. But if you can think there will be no shots on goal in the next 5 minutes,
from minute
145, that's an easy little bet.
Which one was that?
It's in the next 5 minutes, minutes 20 through 24:59, total shots.
Okay.
Total goal kicks. I'm sorry, total goal kicks under a half. And now it's plus 115.
Still a great bet.
I know. That'd be, again, you don't make a lot, but it's pennies. Pennies, pennies add up, my friend.
They really do.
So that's when when you're looking at, if you're trying to solidify and make something happen, I always do the math. If you make X amount of money a day and then you multiply it to the times that you bet, you'll probably end up winning more. The problem when we do sports wagering is that you're trying to have the quick return. So you'll see the catchy, and again, I love those parlays, like 5-team parlay. You lay $200 and you win, 1,000. It's like great. It's a huge return. But the chances for that parlay, trust me, take it from experience. That's a lot of money.
There's a reason why they're giving you those odds, right?
Well, because even when you're going in the odds, you're trying to, even if you go and it's like the favorite rule, you go to the NBA every night and you bet every favorite, it hits like less than 10%. NHL the same way, because there's upsets all the time. And that happens because people have to play the game. So you can literally be guaranteed and say, like, we had bet, no one would have bet that Morocco was going to be here, before other teams, or that, so that's why you can't always say, oh, I'm going to go bet on the favorite and that's going to be an automatic. And those are the times when these kind of guarantees, kind of like the easier, kind of lower risk, and for a smaller wager, it adds up to maybe a potentially huge whale.
And I'll tell you what, these little bets, Mike, these little, like, what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. And I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I call these my millennial bets. In baseball, I was hooked on the Nerfy. You know what a Nerfy is?
No.
It's an abbreviation for Nerfy, no runs, first inning. So you're literally betting that there will be no runs scored by either team in the first inning. I was hooked on that. You can literally get odds like, okay, this guy, Carlos Run, has 58% of the time he is not allowed to run the first inning, while The other team has scored a run in the first inning. You start doing those maths, and I'll tell you what, I love it. And it's millennial betting. It's a way to get everybody involved in instant action.
Wait, so Jim, you don't think none of the teams are going to score throughout the whole game?
No, first inning.
In the first inning.
First, okay.
So you can bet if they're going to score, they're
no
not
runs
going to
first inning.
So for me, the way that I loved it was because, again, there's 30 teams. I'm not going to watch every single game. So if I want to watch or I can't, I'm going to dinner or whatnot, and I just want to be able to see just that one inning, I'm like, I'll bet 3 innings and parlay them. And that's my excitement because I know that I just got a 1 inning and I'm rooting just for one outcome. Again, my team. If I'm a fan of a team that's kind of on the lower bottom of competition, and even though most nights you're going to go out there and you're going to take an L because you're not the Dodgers, you're not the big spenders. Those are the opportunities. You go in, you put a couple bucks. Yeah, you lost, but you made some money on your team. That time that you just invested on your losing team is just paid you back dividends because again, weather goes into consideration and the odds. And my favorite one was, Jim, I don't know if PointsBet's going to have it this year. I hope they do. I hope they're listening. No home runs. So you can bet no home runs or home runs. That was a really good one. I was hooked on that one. And again, you can go up there and again, you can bet on NFL pass, run, every single play you can bet. I'm a huge field goal player. I'll play for the field goal consistently. Very, very good odds with that a lot. Depending, again, you're watching the games.
You gotta have that big money grip Wi-Fi though to go. Is this gonna be a pass? Is this gonna be a run?
Again, it's this, Mike. It's also discipline. Like sometimes you make the right bet, that you made the right wager, and it's not gonna hit, and that's why you can't. You're gonna also the part that I think the industry and I think Jim agrees with this. There's a thing with the industry of like you got all these gimmicks out there. People saying everything is guaranteed, and even the guys that are really, really good, they lose. Okay, so you're going to go on a losing streak. Like when we're doing the show, we know we're going to go probably a week that you're going to go in the NFL. You're probably going to miss on every single pick, even though for a fact that those were great picks. So you're going to go on a cold streak. So that's why I'm a big fan of like money management and like how much money you have and how much money you're managing your action with, because that tells a lot about your play. You just can't always be chasing. And that's why you have to be joining. And that's how you learn, because that's how I learned, was from listening to other people on how they make bets.
I will say this: the only thing, Mike, and Mike, you're a New York, you're a Jersey guy, so you've seen those guys, you've seen the hustlers more than anybody else, And I don't want to disrespect anybody, and I don't want to take money out of anybody's mouth, but anybody that tells you with I hit 86% of my bets, 75%, you listen. You may hit 80% on a day, you may hit 80% on a week, but over a season, nobody hits that. 58%. 59%. That's really good. So anybody that sells you,
baseball, it's like batting averages. You
may go 5-0 one week, in the NFL, but over the course of it, you're not going to be a 90%, 80%, winner. No. It's about picking your spots and finding the right bets,
and finding your comfort zone. So, like for example, for PointsBet, like again, people are going to say, "Ozzie, you're crazy," but I'm not. So, like PointsBet, they do a great job of announcing like new features. And again, the lightning bet, we had the great commercial, which was done in my homeland of Venezuela. Drew Brees getting hit by lightning. But so so like when that came out, I was like, okay, what's the bet? Like, so what's the market? What are they looking for? What's the strategy?
We got a yellow card.
So that's the first one. So we got a yellow card. So that's the first one. So if you had the over, you just lost on that one. If you had the under, I think it was like minus 110 for that one. So going back to like, so now we're at the first half. So if you go in, and that was a half card, by the way. So a half card, Mike, means that on the end of the half or right before it, you commit the foul or that you talk trash. Oh, that's okay. So here's the interesting part. I know you guys are watching the replay. That right there. So the foul came from France technically, but then he got the card because he didn't like the way that it was called on him. So very interesting play, by the way.
Wow.
He got it for talking sizzle. That's what he's talking. He was talking
smack. And here we got a time. So here we go. So when you're
looking at
you got it? Go on that end. Are you watching the replay?
Well, yeah, I was.
Mike, are you the guy? You're the guy at the bar. I mean, we talked about it last time. There's always that one guy screaming and yelling about
and that's why we all looked weird in the last game, because I didn't know if he was joking or not, because I was looking at
that was the first time I saw the goal. That was a beautiful goal.
It was a beautiful goal. So
I didn't get to see it.
we're gonna have a jar, and we're gonna call it the fine jar. So you got to throw $1 in there now. You got to throw $1 in there.
No, that's my last one. That's my last one. I was thinking out loud. That's what I think out loud.
So it's funny because
your inner voice was off.
When you're making bets, I never like to share what I'm rooting for because there might be somebody in the room that might have something different. And I remember one time, I had a friend and he had someone's salary waged on, and I had a very, very small bet, and I was going against his team, and I was rooting for mine, like my life was depending on it. And
you got your $5 on it. Come on.
And he told me how much he was wagering. I said, "You're nuts. I wish you would have told me. I wouldn't even put my bet. I would have been rooting for your bet. I feel horrible now." But that happened. So I'll look at it. So like right now, obviously at the half, and this is why I don't like playing teams that I like, because if I bet the draw at the half at plus 500, which I took, I'm rooting for a Morocco goal. I want to go for Morocco. I want Morocco to score because I'm going to make money on that. So I need to know. So when you get on the app, either the mobile or the desktop version of it, we usually jump in and like you open your account and then like you just start putting bets, and you kind of don't really like look at the features and functionality. So like I love this right here. Like these little things right here with like the little eye. Mm-hmm. They're like little cheat notes of like what it means. Okay. And like you can look it up and it explains it to you. But it also makes you get familiar with like, okay, if I want to make a prop bet, where are they at? So they all sit here. So you kind of know what the markets are. So this is basically like walking through Walmart and being like kids' clothes, electronics. So like I know what I'm playing. So like when I'm looking at it, I know what I'm looking at. Obviously, we know how many wagers you can make. Here we're looking at same game parlays and then fixed scores, a little different. And again, you can have all your bets in there, but like really going in and understanding the markets, especially when you're changing sports. So we've been doing a lot of World Cup. So soccer right now is like very second nature to me because I've been, over unders, corners, cards, and then NFL obviously. But if you're just jumping into a market before you start placing your money, look at the odds, look through, enjoy the process, enjoy the foreplay of the bet.
Yep.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. I'm being serious. Enjoy the foreplay. Look at the odds. Look at, you might be like, I really want this team to win, but then you're like, I like the minus 1.5 or the score. So really going in and really navigating is huge.
And the thing is, it's like anything. Be on the site, navigate, play around in there, see what's there. Because again, you look at these bets and you'll be like, oh my God, what does draw no bet? What does double chance mean? Click on that little icon. It'll explain it to you, or Google it, and you'll be able to really, it'll start making sense to you. And you'll say, okay, I think this is going to happen. Or I came into the match thinking this is what's going to happen. And now I can either bet accordingly. And then you could start thinking, hey, am I betting something that's a favorite? Or am I betting something? Or am I onto something? Because again, there's always the dream for every sports investor, and that's what I call it, Mike and Ozzie. We're sports investors is about trying to find the loophole. Because there's always that one bet you're like, I think I got this wrong. The odds are crazy, and when you hit it, there's no more satisfying feeling in the world. Well, maybe a second more satisfying feeling.
So draw no bet. Like right now, look at these odds, plus 1,500. So draw no bet this is a bet on the winner of the match in 90 minutes plus injury time. A bet on the home team would be a winner if the home team wins the match in regular time. In the event of the draw after 90 minutes plus stoppage time, all bets are returned. So if there is a draw, your money is returned. So like, let's say, you bet Morocco just to win straight up and there's a draw in the end of 90 minutes, you get your money back. So pretty much a safe bet. So like right now you're like, okay, well, I'd rather take that than Morocco, just straight up to win the match, because if there's a tie by any chance, you're lowering your odds.
And not for nothing, Morocco's playing with their hearts out right now.
And Morocco now doing what they do. They just suffocate you. That defense is so good. And, obviously they got caught, the minute 5 into the match, France got the goal, and it kind of almost seems like it caught him by surprise. And if you look at it, it was one of those, it bounced, it was a rebound, and it just landed there, and the guy was right there, and he made an amazing play. But that's what the champs do. For Morocco, under 2.5, still alive. That's what I had coming into it, under 2.5 goals. So, 5 minutes in, I was like, man, what's going on with this?
So when you're looking at the way the odds go and why they're playing the odds out. So again, this is for them, obviously opportunity to make money, but the chances of like when you're getting again that your team's going to be this good and going to be this close, it's in the World Cup, it's nuts. Like imagine playing the World Series every 4 years. Like we play the Super Bowl every year, and we live and die by every week. You know, every week I'm like like this team's making it. Or, you know, there's 9 hours of TV breaking down the Chicago Bears, and we're not even close to making the playoffs. You go to Miami, it's like, you know, every station in 2 languages. Everyone's talking sports. So imagine the World Cup every 4 years, the pressure that these guys have.
Oh my gosh.
Like imagine getting like diarrhea or a stomach ache during like the World Cup. Like you never get sick, and then you go there and you're sick. Like
and the World Cup is every 4 years, but they start playing every 2.5, 3.
Yes, in qualifying matches and whatnot. But it's like weird though, because you can be in qualifying matches and not make the final team. You can be dating a girl and not marrying her.
That's the crazy part. And it's a corner kick for France.
So this is great. Corner kick, obviously. I took the 6.5 pregame that they were going to be over 6.5. So this plays like this are key. This is where Croatia messed up yesterday, where they had a corner play and the play was set for everybody in the middle. All the defenders had gone up and they did a touch very close to the corner, and the touch went wrong. And basically Argentina had a free run at the goal. And that's how they scored the first one. So a little tactical error there. Oh, missed it there. Let's take a look at shots on goal again on the live tracker.
Morocco is leaving it all out in the field. You guys know about rap?
So we got corner kicks. We got one for
a little bit. What do you got, Mike?
You know French Montana?
Sure.
He's from Morocco, and he was trolling. He was trolling Cristiano Ronaldo on his Instagram.
Oh, so did you guys see? So you're a comedian. Did you see the girl that's like trending and everybody went after her? The little girl.
Which one?
She was on TikTok. So after the Morocco game made like they were like, you know, chanting and whatnot. And the little girl, and obviously somebody posted it. It was really funny. It was like, "Where's Cristiano Ronaldo?" But like in this little girl voice, and she's like, "He's crying in his plane," in a very like Morocco accent, like said his name beautifully in their language, and like Ronaldo fans, which I conclude myself, I didn't talk bad about the girl. They went nuts. They went off on like because they started reusing the voice and whatnot, and people were upset. Like, how can someone make fun of Ronaldo that he's in his 5 cars waving at this girl? I thought it was hilarious. So then it started trending again. Like the world was rooting for Morocco until this little girl made this video, and now everyone's rooting for France. And Mbappe is like a huge Ronaldo fan. So they had a meme of like Mbappe saw the video and now he's kind of pumped up so he can beat Morocco because this little girl was making fun of his idol. And it was just nuts. It was like a little girl making a joke, which I thought was hilarious. He went home.
Wow.
He went home. People asked me, "How do you feel, Ozzie Ronaldo?" I said, they didn't play him. I'm mad about that. I feel robbed. And he went home. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, this would have been a perfect Messi versus Ronaldo Cup, man.
You know what? You always want to have the perfect matchups, but again, the teams are very good. They're well balanced. France.
Now, let me ask you this, right, Ozzie? If it did happen with Ronaldo and Messi, who would you have betted for?
You know what? I think Argentina as a team is playing very well. I think they might be better than Portugal. I always argue this. I think Messi right now is playing a fantastic World Cup. I think this World Cup, if I had to compare them both, I think Messi had a way better World Cup than Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo didn't really play. They didn't really use them the way that they usually do. So Messi will take this one. But if I had to pick one of them in the finals, historically, Ronaldo has stepped up more in the big games. Messi, that's always been his Achilles. In the big moments, he has faltered. He has not played well. And it's funny because your career-wise, if you had told me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that Portugal would not be playing Ronaldo, but Messi would be in the moment that he's in, I would have said that you're nuts. Because Messi, at one point, he quit the national team after Copa America, not the one before that.
They're missing a penalty kick, right?
Yeah. he missed a penalty kick and against your crew, against your home country.
Yeah, no, Messi.
Yeah,
he got so mad. He got that mad that he said, "You know what? I'm done," and he retired.
Yeah, he quit. And you know what? And it's so hard because I watch Copa America. Like my homeland, Venezuela, we have the famous Messi foul. We almost put him in a wheelchair, literally. Our coach said, take Messi out within the first 10 minutes. We might have a chance. And they took it literal, and he got fouled like twice. And the third foul was like, probably could have ended his career. So that's the type of mentality people were going to play against him. So for him to see finally kind of like, and man, it's hard. You're living in the shadow of like Maradona, which Ronaldo never had to do, because there's like in Portugal, it's like Ronaldo. He's the Michael Jordan, best looking guy. Like there's no on top. Like Messi has like, there's people flying the Maradona flag before the Argentina flag. Like it's just like there's like Maradona, Argentina, and then like the country. Like there's so he has to deal with that. So to see him play the way that he did last game and the way that he's played the whole tournament, I think it's fantastic for his legacy. So for this World Cup, them together, I think that if Messi would have played that way, I think Messi would have had the upper edge in their careers. I think if they go in their prime, I think Ronaldo takes them in a big game.
Well, and it's the old story, I think. Like it's one thing to be a great player, but can you make your teammates better? Like that's the thing about Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan won those championships, with no disrespect, but those are, how many Hall of Famers were on those Bulls teams other than maybe Scottie Pippen? You know what I mean?
Legit Hall of Famers, one on the first go around, and then the second one, Dennis.
You know what I mean? But so to me, it's one thing to play on a team that's stacked and everybody wins and everybody's great, a bunch of Hall of Famers, and there's no disrespect in that. That's those players. But when you're able to make everybody around you better, I think that's what Jordan had, and I think that's what Messi's doing now. There's actually a great cartoon picture that I saw of Messi, as an adult, and it had his teammates, and they all looked like little kids, and he was holding their hands. And then underneath it was the same picture with Messi, and now all those guys are adults, and they're all walking together. And I think that's the point is he's making all those guys better, And there's a lot more.
Here's the other thing. So here's the other part. I think it's also a thing of timing. So like Messi was getting to know himself. So like the World Cup where he lost in 16s against France, and they weren't horrible teams. Like, so he was like building himself up, but the team was getting better as he is. So like right now, the Argentinian team is very good at a young age, and he's changed his game where he can kind of mesh well with them. So he's like at a point of his career where support players are better, and he doesn't have to be the goal scorer. So that's the part where like the game has shifted for him, where I think that he can help out. Where I think that like guys like him, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, meaning like those guys that make teams that guys better, the Aaron Rodgers, even when he's struggling, you don't have to be him. You make your team.
And Messi's at the end now. Messi's toward the end of his career.
Like, I'm like, he's God. I get out of bed and I think about those guys. Like these guys are the same age as I am, and I'm like, I eat a bad sopa and my stomach hurts for 3 weeks. Like these guys are, and I work out. Like I don't sit at home all day and do nothing. So the fact that they're playing at this level with the amount of pressure they have, and by the way, back in the day, like when Pelé and all those guys, Pelé sat at home and trained and was hanging out in Switzerland and the Copacabana, and then he came and played in the World Cup and he was in the States doing exhibitions. Messi, Ronaldo, Modric, all these guys are playing in season right now. They came from playing their season. And when you're Messi and you're flying, he has to play just because of the investment that people made to go see tickets. You have that pressure from your club and from FIFA. So he has to play. Like if you go in, he's got to play at least 20 minutes of every match. So that pressure that he feels from that end, I think that this is a really big World Cup for him to rise, which was great because you saw him compared to Neymar, and you're like, man, that goal, if it would have ended there, his story was like completely shift. And in 5 minutes, it went back to like, well, they never won with Neymar. And for Messi, he's done a really good job of like getting carried. And that's, again, I think that's when legacies are built on that end, because it's even Pelé. People try to pretend that Pelé won every World Cup by him being a superstar. His last World Cup, he had support, he had role players, but again, his role changed, more of a passer. And that's the thing, like the Messi assist bet. If whoever plays either France or Morocco, I'm betting a Messi assist for any of the goals, because I don't think that they'll play the ball to him. The ball will play through him. So he'll do exactly what he did of like, he'll dribble, he'll move anyone, he'll get the double team like in basketball, and he will pass the ball and then someone else will score.
So I'll tell you what, if it's France, Argentina, who's the favorite, Ozzie? France? I mean, they're the defending champions.
Oh, right. By the way, from a betting standpoint, you got to take Argentina because you're going to get odds. France has been the favorite since before the World Cup. So Argentina, yeah, they were good, but they were not France. So from a betting standpoint, I might take first half no goal, okay, and like 0-0. I might take draw on the game, okay, because I really think it might end in penalty kicks.
And meanwhile, Morocco showing that defense, man. After that quick goal, 5 minutes in, it's still 1-0 or about a couple minutes away from halftime. We'll see how much stoppage time they put on there.
And I'm gonna be really bad at Messi if it goes to penalties.
Well, here's a part that's hard though, and also this is the pressure, and people think that it's not a hard job. Also, the pressure on the refs. Okay, if I call a penalty on you in a qualifying match, and I messed up. Oof. No, you have a chance tomorrow. This game, for example, a half is done. They need to make sure that they need to make sure that it's a foul.
Oh my God, that Chilena the Morocco was beautiful. Yeah, look at this corner kick.
Little corner kick.
Yeah, the corner kick. But yeah, he missed. We got 3 corner kicks right now, so we're halfway to our bet. As
that Chilena he did. Oh, that goal would have been like the best one from the World Cup.
Oh, yes, it would have. So here's the part about that. You know what's hard about that? He's not a lefty.
And it was saved.
Oh, it was a Chileno. He hit the post.
Yeah, that was a beautiful goal. Like right there, he's not a lefty. Look, he turns. He's not a lefty.
That would have been so beautiful.
All I'm saying is if those famous bicycle kicks, if I did that, I'd be in a wheelchair.
You think what are the odds that you can pull off a bicycle kick?
Bro, yeah, if I fell, I don't think I could. I don't think I could pick my legs up as I was falling down unless I fell down that way. Although, Mike, you look like you could do a bicycle kick the way you're straight chilling right now.
Mike, are you a workout guy, or are you just all? Are you a workout guy?
Are you a natural athlete?
Like my like my friend says, I look like an overweight personal trainer.
You know, I joined the gym. And no disrespect, because I am what I would call gravitationally challenged. My man was a big dude. He was a trainer, and I was like, "What is this? What's happening here? We're gonna both work out together. We're gonna both lose weight. What is this?" If I go to a restaurant and the chef is like fit and thin, I don't want to eat there.
Nah, tienes razón. No. So I'll give.
Why? But you have to. Maybe the chef, is on a diet, but he still serves them good food.
Then he's clearly not eating his food.
I do work out, but I stopped. But I still have muscle memory.
You know what? I worked out and I stopped too in 2008.
Yeah.
Oh man! So this goalie right now.
3 minutes of extra time. 3 minutes.
That was a beautiful save.
So right there. So Mike. So like, had we hit? So like right now, this bet. So like right now, let's go look at the corner kicks.
That was another corner kick, right? That's 4.
Yeah, so total corners.
Ozzie, what would be the average corner kicks in a match?
So for the World Cup, I actually have the math of it. So it's probably around 6 or 7, which is awesome about PointsBet. So PointsBet, obviously, they don't close any of the markets. So I've been able to hit on, like right now, let's say a team had like no corner kicks. You'd have like, let's say the other team was like at 6, they would make the odds for the other team that much higher that they wouldn't get over like 1.5 just because they would hit the over of the average. So you would look at that and say, oh, huge opportunity. It's a plus number. So the numbers of it not hitting just because they had such a middle earlier on in the original of like under 6 or 7. That's something that I would look at in the corners market, because just like, okay, pre-match corners market, it's like, okay, it was like 6 or 7, the over under. But if you have like 5 in the first half by just one team, they try to make the other side kind of level it out and kind of even out that playing field. So like, for example, look right now, I can have Morocco, 475 if they don't hit another one, that's not true. That's going to happen. But you can look at the corner markets here for each specific. And then here, look at that under, and that's not the half, that's the whole game. So we currently have 4. So they're saying no more corner kicks the rest of the game. That's a horrible bet. But when you do the list, you start looking and saying, okay, are they going to go over? We can go over. This would be over 9. Okay, 9.5. Now we start getting into the plus numbers.
I'll tell you what, the one thing that I, when I'm watching this match here, the French goalkeeper, he is aggressive, man. He goes out there, he almost leaves that area.
You notice that too, huh?
So look, so
Yeah,
like right
care.
there. So they're doing the little wrestling thing, okay? So
and that's halftime, ladies and gentlemen.
That's halftime. So look at the market then again for halftime, and they're gonna the book, they're gonna reassess themselves. Like, okay, like let's see what numbers are gonna be. So for the cards, there's only one right now, so you're probably gonna get pretty decent numbers on the cards. Let me refresh this.
So 1-0 after the first 45 minutes, and we had a goal in the first 5 minutes of the match.
First 5.
Hernandez in minute 5.
I think that must
France.
be the most quickest goal of the World Cup so far.
It was pretty quick.
Probably from the games that I've watched, again, I haven't watched a specific game every single second, probably about like 80% of them. I would say that you might be right, at least in the top 3 for sure.
You see that, baby?
Yeah, right. I just saw something that there's an alternate goal line, alternate total goal line, under 1.5 goals. That means no more goals the rest of the way, boys. Under 1.5 is now 4-1. That interest anybody?
That's a great bet. That's a great bet. That's a great bet.
It's the alternate
goal line.
Yep. It just updated. Under 1.5 goals.
And then the exact total goals right now is at plus 340.
So that's interesting. So we got 45 more minutes to look forward to. France halfway to the final against Argentina. And boy, would that be Mbappe versus Messi. And I'll tell you the one thing Morocco has done. We haven't even said Mbappe's name. It's almost like he's not even playing. They have controlled him so far.
I think Morocco's happy about that, though. That they little Mbappe no thought he's not showing up right now.
We have a comment from _JD. What are your current bets?
So right now I have on the line, I have Mbappe. So I'll show you right now here. I got my bets. Not showing because I'm not logged in. So I got Mbappe under 2.5 goals. Mbappe scoring, France winning. That's one action. I have under 6.5, over 6.5 on the penalty, on the corner kicks just in the game. And then I have a 2-leg parlay. 2-leg parlay. Then I have on 6.5 corners and then over 3.5 corners. So I have Morocco has to have 3.5 corners and France has to have 6.5 corners. That's his own parlay. And then in one of my parlays, I already hit the first half. I have a parlay, okay, plus 1,800. And that is that halftime.
Almost 11-1.
Was going to be France. And then the full time was going to be a draw. And then the alternative total goals was going to be under over 0.1 in the half. So I already hit half of that. It was $2 to win 45.
So big money grip. Ozzie Jr, everybody. You're buying the first round. Well, Mike, here is my little cheat sheet. Here's my little cheat sheet of stuff that I did. I made these bets before the match started, and I had under 2.5 goals. This was all at PointsBet. Was minus 150. Paid a little juice, but we're still alive there. I had 3 exact score bets. France wins 2-1, plus 750. I threw it out there. Morocco wins 2-1, plus 1,800 to 18-1, and I had a 1-1 draw. Still alive for that at plus 650. The bet that I always love is both teams score. So we're halfway there. Plus 320, almost 3.5 to 1. I had just because I had to. I sprinkled a little bit, not a lot. Morocco winning in penalties was 11-1. Still there, and I had an Mbappe anytime goal at plus 150. So we're getting there, and then obviously the both teams scoring as well. So we're getting there, and I'm going to make that bet now of that 4-1 that nobody scores in the second half. So it's under 1.5 goals total in the game. 4-1. That Moroccan defense, you almost think France they've got the lead, just hold back a little bit. How does France come out, you think, Ozzie? You think they're still aggressive, or we got the lead? Let's hold them for 45?
No. Right now, the second goal becomes key, because once you put the second goal in, they're trying to put them away. Like, let's put these guys away as early as possible, because the closer you get to 90 minutes, the more pressure that you have. So the quicker you score, the more they got to go back in and do that. And Morocco obviously is going to have pressure without trying to give up a goal. That's what happened to Croatia yesterday. People were like, oh, they scored 3 on Croatia. Well, they were like, we need to get in the game. We have to score. So by them trying to score, it's like in hockey, pulling out the goalie. They don't do it in soccer because obviously they probably kick from far away, but in hockey, they do it all the time. You take out the goalie for 2 minutes, empty net. They call it against the empty net. Actually, a great way to wager. But then the other team usually scores on that. There's teams that are great against the empty net. There's teams that are not. That's how it is in soccer. So can Morocco be able to defend while trying to score? They're great defenders, okay? So they probably can do it. But other teams like Croatia, they broke down. They try to attack while defending at the same time, and they broke down and they scored 2 on them. So that means that when we're looking at specifically for France, I'm looking at them winning by more than 1.5. That's the case with Croatia. With a team like Morocco, where they've only scored 1 goal on them in the whole World Cup, it might be a little bit different. So I might take Morocco at plus money at the plus 1.5, because I don't think they'll concede another goal.
And remember, obviously, France, Mike, the defending champions, they won the World Cup 4 years ago. But for Morocco, they have not given up 2 goals in a game in over 15 months. So they don't give up a lot of goals. They've gotten to their sort of their quota. All right, real quick, let's do a little NFL. What do you guys say? Since we're at halftime, 1-0 France leading. Thursday night, tomorrow night, jueves por la noche, prime time. Got a pretty good prime time game. Hopefully Al Michaels won't be too cranky. Do you know how cranky he was at that Raiders-Rams game? He was mad at the PA announcer who kept going, Rams, oh! And Al got cranky. ¿Qué le pasa, Al?
I don't think he's been happy with the showdowns that he's doing Thursday night, but he's a little mad. Again, I think Thursday night footballs, they're not great for the eyes. Again, there's 2 ways to look at games, the enjoyment, and there's the games that you can put. When you have PointsBet, any game can be fun because then you're going against the house, especially when games are not scored. So this is a game when you got the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks, and the over and under is 43. Okay? We saw what San Francisco did.
And that defense is like the Moroccan defense, that 49ers.
So I'm gonna admit it. Last week on the show on Dimelooo, I said that San Francisco was in trouble. Okay, Jimmy G was not there, and I took the defense for granted. This San Francisco defense within 1 week can take them to the Super Bowl on pure defense, and their quarterback just having to be average, meaning don't throw a big pick, because he did it. A great backup. Again, coming in and doing the job. I like in this game, I like San Francisco and the points, okay, because it's minus 3.5, and it's only 7 points on juice, so it's minus 107, so it's still pretty good there. So I like San Francisco, and I actually on this game I might take the under 43.
Well, here's what I'm looking at. The Carolina Panthers last week in Seattle rushed for 223 yards against that Seahawk defense. They ran up and down the field on them. So all of a sudden I see Christian McCaffrey at 40.5 rush yards. That kind of interests me a little bit in that. That kind of interests me to go over that. San Francisco, by the way, they win this game, they win the division. They've already beaten the Seahawks once. Seattle 7-6, the Niners 9-4. The game's in Seattle. Back in week 2, the Niners beat the Seahawks 27-7. Remember, that's after Trey Lance broke his ankle. Oh my God, Jimmy G came in and sent a message that we're going to be okay. And then Brock Purdy, you just got that defense of the Seahawks. I think they're getting tired. In 2 games, I mean, Brock Purdy had 253 yards passing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's got 461 in 2 games with 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. I kind of like his passing yards. I haven't set them yet, but I would go to PointsBet and I would look at McCaffrey over rushing yards and Purdy over passing yards. And Geno Smith, he had a devil of a time against the Panthers. And he had 3 interceptions in that game. And this 49er defense is legit. It is legit. It is elite. I kind of like the under 2 at 43, although the Seahawks can score. But, the 49ers held them to 7 points in week 2.
Well, I like we were talking about earlier, when you're looking at the books, what is the book giving me? What's the opportunity look like? And for me right now, when you're talking about the rushing yards, okay, I think he's going to hit them. But in order for you to hit those rushing yards, that means that your coach has got to give you the ball. And when they're looking at that tape and they see what Carolina did, and they're like, wow, okay, Carolina ran that much? Man, we might try it. So 16.5 on the over handoffs. Okay, that means rushing attempts. That is a great bet. Why? That only means that you have to try to run. That means if the quarterback grabs the ball and hands it to you, even if you go for negative yards, you're going to run the ball more than 16.5 times. Okay? Christian McCaffrey is going to get that. So that's minus 115 I'm going to take because I think he gets the ball more than, 16 and a half times unless there's an injury. So he's going to be able to run it again. That's going to be a huge part of the game. And then, again, on the receiving yards, I'm looking again for the quarterback to throw and looking to make receptions. So again, I think this is going to be a very top heavy San Francisco game. I think this is going to be the wake up call for Seattle, and the one where everybody else starts taking San Francisco very serious. San Francisco needs to keep playing well. The quarterback's out, so this is a great time for them to explore and do new things.
Yeah, and again,
my baby mother was asking me what type of food I wanted tonight.
Oh man, you got it like that? What are you, like the guy from? Are you the Latino version of the guy from Wedding Crashers?
Nah, I don't crash weddings. Nah, I just
like mom meatballs now.
Oh, the
you're Will Ferrell. That's right.
You're Will Ferrell.
I never know what she's doing back there.
Making you food.
Do you stay out of the kitchen? Because I don't even go near my kitchen. When my wife is home, she's like, "What are you doing here? Are you lost? Get out of here!" No, you're right. You're right.
It's funny because she's cooking.
Are you a mama's boy?
Mike,
would you consider yourself a mama's boy?
Yeah, yes and no. 50-50.
Is that what
my mom was very she's like, well, she had an attitude like one of the guys.
Okay.
I'll hug my mom and she'll be like, all right, man, stop being a little bitch.
It was please and thank you with her, right? Please and thank you.
Damn, mom. Most moms will just hug me back.
I need some support here. You got some support.
Yeah, stop being soft.
I love it.
I'm like, damn, mom, okay. I love you too. So, but then she had her soft days.
I love it. That's
awesome. Always stop being soft. That was her favorite word.
What's your favorite Latino Chilean? Like what's your go-to from your homeland?
Oh, for me to have one night with Palola Mami.
Okay.
You know who Palola Mami is?
No, tell me.
Tell us. I'm very intrigued. Sounds sexy though.
Yeah, she is. She's a famous Chilean rapper / singer.
Ah.
Very, very popular.
Is she safe for work or is she not safe for work?
I don't know what that means.
am I gonna get a call from HR if I pull her up on the computer?
Nah, she's legal. Nah, she's like 28, 30.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, is she like? Does she have an OnlyFans? Does she curse? What's happening?
Nah, she don't have one.
I'm assuming she's legal, Mike. I'm assuming that.
That's what I thought.
Oh man,
no, I check every day. She don't have an OnlyFans.
I need ID, please. Everybody, ID, please.
Oh my God.
I'll show you right now.
That's hilarious.
So this you would marry. This is what you would like to be, mommy. Your future wife, your goal.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have to get her on the show, Mike.
What?
Yeah, Mike. You got to let her know, Mike.
That's my baby, but She lives in Chile.
That's okay.
It's okay. You can move. We got airplanes, Mike. It's not 1940s.
That's why God invented Zoom.
Oh,
Yes,
you're right.
he did. Yes, he did.
I love it.
How
So,
interesting!
Ozzie, what do you think? What do you think about this Carlos Correa getting 350, 13 years from the Giants? As a Dodger fan, Dodgers aren't making any moves because
the Dodgers have their team. You know, the Dodgers have their team, so that they just need to figure it out. So I'm not worried about that from a Dodgers standpoint. But again, this shifted the odds. This morning when you went on and you looked at the odds for the Giants winning the division, just got way better. It jumped exponentially because obviously Correa, makes that change. I was surprised by him. He took a lot of less money in average money per year. He went from 35 million to about 26, 27 million. So from that end, but he's 13 years. Again, when you look at when you're looking for him to place money on, I knew that he was done being a mercenary. He's got a family now. He just got married. He wants to go somewhere and for the next 10 years, be able to send his kids to the same school. And that's what he found in San Francisco. A lot of players, when they get to a point, they want to settle down. It's like life. At one point, you want to be out, living, having fun. Just you don't care where it's at. Wherever work is at, you go. And then you start making career choices of, okay, I might move somewhere closer where work is at because I don't want to travel as much. I want to be able to closer to be with the kids. So I think it's great. I think it's for the game for the great of baseball. And you see that these guys are going to be playing for an extended period of time. And again, I always say players have to make the money where it's at. And that's why I think guys like Mbappe are going to try to strike now in the World Cup because he knows that his time frame is like, in life, you only have like these 10, 20 years to make money.
You have a window, yeah.
You have a window.
Although it's funny, as the second half has gotten underway, that Aaron Judge, I laugh because obviously the Giants and the Yankees offered him the same amount of money, right? Same contract, same amount of money. Padres offered one more year. But he's going to make more money with the Yankees than with the Giants living in New York as opposed to San Francisco because of the state income taxes. He's actually going to make $7 million more after taxes playing in New York. In New York, living in Manhattan. He'll make more money living in Manhattan after taxes than he would living in San Francisco. That's crazy.
And we'll begin the second quarter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we do. And it's 45-57 here. Oh, again, let me. This is the most important part, guys. What are we doing? We always got to have the game on the right action.
All right, so let's see I always love Lightning. Like, what's going to happen in the 5 minutes? We had a goal the first 5 minutes of the match. That's the difference right now. It's 1-0 France. So it's always good to check on PointsBet to see what the little lightning bets are, to see what the first 5 minutes of this match is going to hold.
Absolutely.
What goodness they have for us.
France is trying to do it again. That was a close one.
So we got to throw the ball in. We got minute 15. Okay, here we go. Minute 48. I'm trying to find the right.
All right, so the first they're setting it up now. The minute 50 to 55. Okay, that's the next 5 minute betting window that they have on PointsBet. Minute 50 to 54-59. You think there's going to be a card plus 375. Corners, there's going to be a corner plus 140.
Yo, France is not playing games. I don't know what they said to those players.
And how about a penalty? 45-1.
We might have one. It happened in the box. You know what I noticed too during the World Cup? They haven't been checking that much El VAR.
Thankfully. I mean, that thing is so arbitrary and it's so random.
Are you against it, Jim?
Well, I think to me, I always feel like you want to get it right, but I don't feel like they get it right. You know what I mean?
They did it against Uruguay game when they lost.
Oh, yeah. Uruguay was not very happy. So I just took in that 50 to 54 minute mark. I took over 2.5 throw-ins at 145, and I actually took the goal at plus 550, I believe that I took it at. Here we go. So I took I took a couple actions there. Actually, the penalty kick obviously pays more than the actual goal itself being scored because again, you got to call it, which is again that's a huge one. and when you see a team in the action of a game going there, that's where you kind of like make that bet. So put the live tracker back on.
And hey, just a reminder, we're in the second half of the semifinal between France and Morocco. You're watching here on JefeBet.com and on the YouTube page of JefeBet, all thanks to PointsBet, where you can make live betting. We're live betting. And again, we're going to be back for the final on Sunday morning, Argentina against one of these two teams, and France is halfway there. I'm Jim Rodriguez with Mike Ruga and Ozzie Jr. We're having a great time. Happy or long. Hope to see you on Sunday. Hope we make some money today. We're having a good time. Still alive at under 2.5 goals total for the match, and I did a little alternate under 1.5 goals at plus 400. So we're hanging in there and still waiting for the a Morocco goal at plus 320 because I didn't have my both teams score. So hanging in there. Hope you're doing well. PointsBet, hit us up. I'm at JRod Show on Twitter and Instagram. JRod Show. Mike, where are you, buddy?
I'm in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Oh, well, social media?
Yeah.
I'm everywhere at Mike Ruga. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at Mike Ruga. One word. No. What's that?
No underscores, no slashes, no dots.
None of that. Just Mike Ruga. One word. MikeRuga.
There it is, right there. And Ozzie, where can we find you?
Guillen Jr., Twitter and Instagram, El Mundo Guillen for the second page on Instagram, obviously the show page. But we're there. Send us your questions. Any picks you got on gambling, sports, life, I will be there.
Life, I like that. Like, yeah, Ozzie, Ozzie, my girlfriend left me, and
I'd be the best at that.
You're like the love doctor, Ozzie, the love doctor.
I'm like the love doctor. I got it like that. Oh, what a foul. Ooh, that's a foul. They didn't call it. Oh,
I'm not going to lie, Ozzie. It happened while you was talking. I didn't want to interrupt. That was crazy.
No. That's a.
You know how you wasn't in the box. It wasn't in the area.
It wasn't in the area. But if I would have taken that penalty bet, I'd be very upset right now.
What's crazy? And the referee told him to keep playing.
Look at that. Did it get him?
My man is suffering. But he's going to get back up and start running again. And it's Mbappe. You can't hit Mbappe. Yeah. You can't hit the franchise. You can't hit the media guide.
Oh, that's him?
That would have been messy. They would have let him take 2 free kicks.
They would have given him a goal and let him take 2 free kicks.
FIFA politics, huh?
Yeah, now the doctors are coming out. This is serious. Mbappe's like, no, I'm going to stay out here because you guys missed it.
Look at Morocco.
Sunday is the World Cup final, 10 a.m. Eastern. And you can join us right here on the JefeBet YouTube page. We're going to be going live again. Mike, man, you're going to have your cereal, your Cheerios,
At what time, Jim?
10 a.m. Eastern. Tempranito, madrugation.
You mean
that's it? You'll be coming in from the club, so you'll be good. You'll be coming in.
You're right.
Just an extension of the day, a nice little greasy breakfast, and you're good.
That's the day I'll be coming home.
You see,
with my button up, wiping my nose.
That's it. It's all good, but that's a different show. PointsBet.com. That's where you can do the live betting. Join us here. We're trying to make some money here. Hopefully, you're making some money too. 1-0 France. We're in the 53rd minute.
That's PointsBet's after dark.
That's PointsBet
after dark.
For that nose joke.
That's usually my favorite. The Chinese Basketball Association. It's my favorite after dark league.
Almost Morocco trying to tie it up.
Morocco is not.
The man had the shot and whipped. I see Morocco a lot more aggressive.
That one hurt.
Down 1-0.
By the way, that one hurt for if you had a bet, which I have on basically shots on goal.
That was a nice pass.
Tell you what, Morocco is coming out gangbusters, house of fire. What I love about soccer or football is how the goalie gets so mad at everybody. He'll make a save and he just starts screaming at everybody. It's like I've never seen somebody so mad in their life. He looked like George Brett in the Pintar game.
One of the best all-time favorite of any type of fight in the game.
You know, I always, whenever I, obviously I was a kid back then and wasn't sports investing, but can you imagine if you had some money on that game? If you were at the barbershop or whatever, you had some money.
You reversed it.
Can you imagine the craziness that ensued because of that?
Well, you know what? And I think now a lot of people think that into consideration of, wow, how did that? Now that's one of the first things I think about. How did that bet, that decision affect the bet? Okay, if it's for a strikeout.
Yeah, because the game ended. The game ended. He was out, and then there was a protest, and then they played the game again, and they had to pick it up again. It was just crazy. I think the Royals ended up winning the game.
Yeah.
But it was mayhem if you were trying to take some action in that game.
Absolutely, and that's why you got to read the fine print when we're talking about, is a bet for 90 minutes, is the bet include extra time, the bet for somebody.
And by the way, I really appreciate the guys at PointsBet, because obviously the Monday nighter Kyler Murray blew out his knee. First run attempt, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes into the game, blew out his knee, and PointsBet refunded some money if you had his over in rush yards, like me. If it cost you any sort of parlays, if you parlayed Kyler Murray and that was the only part of the parlay leg that you lost, they refunded the money. So lots of props to the folks at PointsBet for doing that.
Props.
So at least you're dealing with some good people there that'll take care of you if that happens. It's a team game. We're all in it together over there at PointsBet. So we're about the 56th minute, still 1-0 France.
So I missed that line.
That under's looking good, man. We're hanging in there.
Yeah, that under is so the next 5 minutes, we hear the odds for the next 5 minutes, and again, you got to get in quick. This is like the market, got to get in quick. And it's funny because I'm used to some looking here, but I'm making the bets on my mobile because I got more finesse on my fingers, which might sound really funny.
Wait a minute. That's what oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I saw Ruga pop up.
It never misses.
Never misses.
When my wife says that, I always laugh. The kids will say something, or that's what she said. My wife's like, "What?" I'm like, "You dirty bird."
You dirty bird.
White women, man, they're crazy. They're crazy, them white women. They made my credit score go up. Best joke ever.
I want Jim's credit score went from a 500 to a 720.
Yes. Oh, you married who? Okay. Click.
So right now it's minute 56. So I'm not going to take them right now as of yet. But I'm probably going to look at correct score 1-0. This went down to 260. So I got to decide either the amount of money that I'm going to place on there, or if I think it's going to stay 1-0, okay, or if I think it's going to actually see 1-0 and 2-0 are the same. So what are the chances of them scoring another goal, or going up on them, or do I like the Morocco? Wait, where's France? Yeah, here we go, 2-1. So yeah, so do I want to decide if they're going to go 1 goal and not score anymore after they hit the minute 60, or are they going to go 1 more in, because it's the same number of odds. So I need to decide within the next time frame of we're in the minute 50. I'm probably going to wait. I'm going to wait a little bit. We're in the minute 58. So maybe wait till minute 60 and see how much the line changes.
Well, Mbappe is okay. He stayed in the game, by the way. So
he got his special shoes.
That's it. They just showed a shot of him tying his shoes. So I was like, all right. So that Moroccan defense, man, they're bending, but they're not breaking. Although so far, the early part of this second half, everything's been on the French side of the field. The Moroccans with a couple of shots there that, they had one that they wish they had back wide open and right in front of the net. The guy whiffed it.
So we got minute 62.
Morocco's playing really good. Hopefully, you know, they don't end like this.
And if France, you're like, okay, that's fine. You know, we got the lead.
Okay, so for the next 5 minutes, I took the penalty play at plus 3,000. Okay, I put something on there. And then let's play the over on corner kicks. And yeah.
Uh-oh,
what happened?
Oh, that was offside anyway, but damn.
Tell you what, PointsBet daring you that Morocco is going to score a goal plus 160 on the over-under goals for Morocco. Plus 160 over a half a goal. So one goal gets you plus 160. They want you to put a little action on them.
Yeah, I may have to buy like a GOAT outfit just for Messi's World Cup final.
I've heard a rumor that you may be goating it.
You may be goating it. Are you an edible goat?
No, I'm just the GOAT, like Messi.
Listen, I was telling the story the other day. I remember as a kid, every time anybody says goat, I'm traumatized because when I was a kid, I went to the zoo. We had like one of those field trips at the zoo. Yeah. And I remember my teacher was standing there, and we were in a pen with all the animals, and this goat just had a bad attitude, man, and kept ramming my teacher. And then she had like some papers in her hand, and the goat just grabbed it out of her hand and ate it, and then butted her again. I was like, "Wait, what's up with this goat? Get me out of here! I don't want to be here anymore."
Disrespectful. I see mine spitting on a person for getting too close.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this much though, but the whole like goat. Everyone in Venezuela is like, why do they? ¿Por qué le gusta un chivo? Like, why is everyone calling him un chivo? Like, what's with the goat thing? Like, they don't get it. They're like, is it chivo like a badass animal? And I'm like, no, it's the because they're confused. They're like, I didn't know the Americans loved the chivo that much.
Like, greatest of all time. But Jim, but hold up, I don't know what goat you referring to. Talking about ramming your teacher.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was ramming
Un goat enamorado.
Yeah, and was just talking about wow. I remember just took the paper right out of her hand and ate it, and like looked at her too, like what? I was like, oh damn.
That's what she said. Whenever Jim says something, there's an opportunity.
Did you see One's tweet there, Ozzie?
Let's say he's happy right now.
Gazelle. He's a gazelle.
He is. Oni is French. There's no one in this world that wants Messi to lose more than Oni. I'm just going to throw that one out there.
More than who?
My brother.
Really?
My brother's a super Real Madrid fan, and he's a super Ronaldo fan, and he's actually an anti-Messi fan, an anti-Barcelona fan. Yeah, he's in that world. Like I love. So I get crap on because so I went on my honeymoon to Spain. My wife again doesn't have an affiliate. She knows that we're Madrid. We go to Spain, and actually we go to Barcelona, and we're going to go to Madrid, and we open up in Spain, and we're just hanging out, and we're doing the tourist stuff, and I see the tickets, and she doesn't know about soccer, and the guy comes up to her, and she's like, hey, this guy just said that we can go to a soccer match, and the tickets look pretty cool. So we go in, I look, and the tickets were actually really good, very affordable, and I'm like, it's a Barcelona match, and she's like, yeah, but we've never been, and it's like something cool, and we have nothing to do today, and like, so I'm like, okay. So we go, and I wanted to go also because this was the time when they had Neymar, Messi. They were all there. They're all super Suarez. And when we get there, they gave us these shirts like when we got on the bus, and it was a Barcelona shirt. So my wife's like, I want a picture. I want a picture with a shirt like in front of the arena. Mm-hmm. So we're on our honeymoon, by the way. So it's my famous picture of me in a Barcelona shirt with my wife in the Camp Nou. So anytime my brother wants to threaten me, he's like, you took that picture. I was like, and my wife still has a shirt. My wife will wear a Barcelona shirt around. Wow. But he hates that he hates that I went to the Camp Nou and I took this picture. I was in my honeymoon. My wife's like, let's take a picture. I could have been anything, but he's that hardcore. Him and his wife played the song in their music, like their baby. So I've been to the Camp Nou. I saw, but there is a shirt of me wearing a Barcelona shirt. Okay. And I've always respected Messi. I didn't like it when he played against my brother, though. he's an anti-Messi fan. Right now, if Messi wins, I'm like, I got Ronaldo right here, but he's the GOAT. He's not going to give me no Pelé, but I'm going to have to buy a picture of Messi. You know, I got Maradona up there, and I got my favorite players, but he's well respected. And I love the fact that when we talk about Messi and Ronaldo, we're going to be they dominated for 15 years. So the fact that we get to talk about him is like when I talk about Michael Jordan, you know, there's kids out there that I'm like, they'll wear Jordans and they never saw him play. And my son never see Michael play. That I enjoy because I didn't really get the chance like that with baseball. Now I'm going to. Now other sports, I'm getting to a point where I've seen these great guys. And now I'm seeing Mbappe from the beginning. So that's something I really like in sports because you always have those for better or for worse. You know, I wish I would have gotten to see Muhammad Ali. You know, I love Julio Cesar Chavez. I never saw him in his prime. I saw him as a, you know, I've seen him now as a grown man in exhibition fights. And I was a kid, I was like 7. I didn't really, you know, I've seen all the fights of Duran on YouTube. I never saw him in his prime. So obviously I love Floyd Mayweather because I like Canelo. Like I'm seeing them in their prime of greatness. Mike Tyson, I was a kid. I saw Mike after jail. So I love seeing live sporting events when guys are like in their prime. Even Wayne Gretzky, I saw him, you know, I saw old Wayne. As a 7-year-old, I really don't have a lot of input. Like I know what's going on is great, but I'm not analyzing it like I am right now. So that I've enjoyed seeing that of guys. Well, I love Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I love seeing guys be great.
Like you respect it more and you're more grateful.
I do, especially at that level. You know, Serena Williams. I got to see her whole career, and I don't even like tennis. You know, I watched her. I remember, you know, watching Tiger Woods as like an 11-year-old, being like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen." So that to me has impact when I get to watch a player like that. And I'm getting to a point now, like one of my favorite players in baseball, Miguel Cabrera, has announced his last season. I was with him in his first at bat as a bat boy, and this is his last year. So I'm getting to that point where players are retiring. But I grew up with Messi, man. I grew up with Messi and Ronaldo. You know, the next World Cup, they won't be there. It's going to be a whole new group of guys. And you take stuff for granted, the bickering, you know, where's one going to go? Where you start missing that because
and as you're saying that,
yeah.
While you're saying that, it goes with this comment that we received of Gustavo Rojas. It's in Spanish.
What do you say?
Hoy todos lo que criticaron y le dijeron en la madre a Mbappé por no firmar con el Madrid.
Gustavo Rojas tiene razón. So one of the things that I do, and again, this is why betting with PointsBet and like changes my perspective on sports. I actually put a bet in another book because PointsBet didn't have it on Mbappe coming to Madrid. We all thought that he was coming. Everyone knows that he's a huge Ronaldo fan, and that he was coming, and we couldn't get him. And when we couldn't get him, we denounced him, and we said that he wasn't a good player anymore. And now, as of last night, we're all rooting for Mbappe, meaning everyone that's a Madrid fan, they're like forcing us to root for him because it's against Messi. And it's like, we forgave Mbappe, which again, now I feel like now he might be able to come back if they offer him the money. So again, that's the curiosity of when you place money on. And again, that's why it's for the hardest team for me to bet on is Madrid, because I always have, obviously I want them to win. And when people talk about like the Bears and teams that I really like,
almost.
That was almost. Yep. I'm not I bet with my heart, and I'm not objective. So I try. I'm usually at better when games that I have nothing to worry about, that I'm just looking at.
It's hard because listen, I'm a Dodger fan. So the hardest thing for me to do is to bet against the Dodgers. You know,
or for them.
When a game pops up, you know, when a game pops up and you're like, you see the matchup or you see, boy, the opposition, the guy's on fire, he's hitting, he's gonna get a couple of hits, or you're like, man, but you know what? I learned a long time ago, business is business.
Yeah. No, for sure. And that happens to me a lot with the White Sox. People are like, oh, you bet against the White Sox. I said, well, that's the right move. I now try mixing and matching because again, that's the right move. And again, like right now, everyone in the World Cup is probably rooting for another goal. I'm rooting for, at this point, for some of my bets, I'm rooting for nobody to score. When you're looking at second half goals and second half spreads, again, the numbers have changed, and that number of France plus 240, and I said that I was going to take it in the minute. We're currently at minute 68. And I said I was going to take it at 65. I'm going to take it now.
Well, it's great. So far we told you at the start of the match, we went with under 2.5 goals. And that's hitting. And then at halftime, PointsBet threw up a nice bet that there would be no goals in the second half, and 4-1 that it would be under 1.5 goals total for the match. So that means they can't score. Nobody can score in the second half. 4-1. I jumped on that. So it's sort of like trying to, there's nothing. There's the hardest thing I think in sports betting, boys, is when you root for an under, because you're rooting for nothing to happen.
Correct.
It is so like nonsensical, right? You're rooting for nothing to happen.
So I just
don't score.
So I just took right now the correct score at 1-0, which is a guaranteed, meaning like if nothing happens, it's a plus 240. Okay, again, I'm betting more heavy France at this point because of momentum. But I also took the 2-0, and I put less money than the guaranteed because if it hits, it's probably going to be France scoring. So for me, again, that bet there, I was able to leverage that. And again, if you think Morocco's going to score and you're going to go in for the draw, again, that would be another smart bet. If you're thinking that Morocco's going to score, I don't think they will in the minute 70. But that's what I just took right now. So I took correct score at a larger amount of money, probably like double what I usually bet on that, and I put some action on the second goal coming in, but are very low because obviously the odds is plus 700. And then we look at this right now. So like look at the dangerous attacks, pretty balanced out. Ball possession, look at this. France dominating 62% the time with the ball the whole match. And dangerous attack, obviously, pretty match. But then the corner kicks. Right now, I'm at 4. Remember, I'm rooting for 6.5. I'm rooting for 6.5 on the corner kicks. And I have Morocco at 3.5. And then I got France that they were going to have at least 4 themselves. So,
well, we've got a nice little free kick about to happen here. Should be interesting here as we get into the 71st minute. 1-0 France. That goal happened in minute 5. So there's been a defensive struggle since then as France dio el batacazo to start the match. And then it's been all defense after that. Morocco's had their chances, but France trying to get the second one in there, and it's not going to happen. So we're still alive, under 2.5, and the alternate under 1.5 goals so far.
So I want to break down when people we had a question from one of our fans of like why is the half important? So the half is important because you're looking at to always be under or over. So obviously if you go by whole numbers and you say it's going to be under 4 and it's 3, it's like, well, you're giving me a better chance. So the half separates it. So meaning if it's over 7.5, meaning I have to hit an 8. If it's under 6.5, I have to hit a 5. So for me to win the bet at 6.5 corners, I have to have a total of 7 corners. 6.5, you can't have 6.5 corners.
That half is also in betting terms called the hook. And that hook, I got hooked badly Monday night. I had Nelson Aguilar of the Patriots, right? 32.5 receiving yards. Went over. He ended up with 32. And the worst part is he was at 31 and Mac Jones threw a pass. He fell down, got 1 yard, and then they throw the ball the rest of the day. So I got burned on the hook.
So one of the most important things, though, other than odds and obviously how you use the tool and obviously the book being available at where you're located, but with points bets, let's say there's somebody got a hit and then it gets overturned, or somebody took a bunch of yardage and then at the end of the game they're like, that yardage wasn't official, or a rebound because of the statistics. Points bet, if it hits and it's the game, they honor the bet or they'll void it. In general, they never hurt you. They never say, oh, well, you lost the bet. It's just voided if there's a controversy, which at the end of the day, as a sports wager, that's what you want. You don't, even if you don't make money, you just want to lose money. So you rather have the void if there's any, back and forth. So even with the goals, like I remember the Argentina game with the Saudi Arabia, I had Argentina over 1.5 at the half. at early in the game. And when they scored early, I was jumping up and down, and they got returned. They returned 3 goals. And I've learned that, especially in this World Cup, that I got to wait to see. I got to wait to see, what the situation is. We just had a kick. So somebody asked me on Twitter, in with the World Cup, if you kick the ball into the stands, you don't get to keep the ball. So that must be a baseball fan who just wrote me that. You don't keep the ball. They don't have.
I wonder how many balls that they're playing with. They've got to have. Yeah, they can't just have one.
How many balls are going to get hit into the stands? But yeah, you don't get to keep the ball in the World Cup. You return it.
So you got to catch it. You got
MLS. That's an MLS idea. If a ball's into the stands and you're playing in the MLS, you get to keep the ball.
Why not? That's the thing.
Why not? It's a very baseball. People love it. Getting a foul ball or a home run. It's a huge thing in a fan's career. Every kid wants a ball when they go to the stadium. So I can see that with soccer. I think the football in the NFL, you catch. If a ball goes into the stands, can you keep it?
Well, they have the net, so whenever there's a field goal, they don't let you, or an extra point, they don't let you keep it.
Yeah, they don't let you keep. So I'm assuming only if a player gets mad and throws it into the stands, which again, at that point, I don't think anybody's going to the stands to. Yeah, it's a little harder. And then obviously you don't want the puck to come up. That means you're hurt.
Has anyone ever caught a foul ball or a home run?
Legitimately catch it in the air,
or not even necessarily catch it, but just it landed in your area and you grabbed it.
I was consistently getting badgered when I was a broadcaster. Oh, Morocco's so close there. This is the Morocco spending a lot of time in the area. A foul is so likely to happen right now. They keep up with this area stuff in the minute 75, but they're defending very well France. But anything in the area, again, great for free kicks. And the free kick bet on the lightning.
And you just got to wonder the referee, Ozzie and Mike, swallowing that whistle. It's got to be such an obvious, no doubt foul penalty to call it, because man, you don't want it to be deciding on that. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
So here's the thing, though. When it comes to that, though, when you're looking at, it's got to be a free kick. But looking at these bets, minute wise. Let's look at the odds for the free kicks, because, next 5-minute free kick, let's look at it. Just total free kicks over, total free kicks under. Ooh, look at this under bet. 0.5 plus 260. Shots on target to go over 0.5. I like that one at plus 120. Let me look at this right now. But yeah, so going back to my story, every time they hit the ball, when I was broadcasting, the ball would come back and I'm on top, right behind the plate broadcasting.
On the booth, in the booth, yeah.
I would move. I dive. There's videos of me, and I would just dive. I dive. There's broadcasters out there with their gloves. I dive. I move out of the way. Balls hoping holes. I will dash out of the way so quick. I wanted no action whatsoever.
Well, I always told people they don't pay me to catch these foul balls. They don't pay me to catch it. They pay me to be a broadcaster.
You're broken.
But imagine catching a foul ball from the greats like Derek Jeter or Mark McGwire.
Well, I remember I caught a Tony Perez batting practice home run.
Really?
I didn't catch it. It landed, and look, there it is. I remember my aunt got hit with a home run.
What? Did she sue? And she didn't sue that MLS at that point.
She got hit right in the thigh, and it was the biggest bruise. I mean, it was a bruise for like a month. It was crazy.
Damn.
Oh,
Ozzie, I think you're muted, Bubba. I don't know if you're muted or you disconnected there.
I'm muted there. Sorry. It doesn't. Anytime a ball's hit, and I love the fact that they put the fence behind the dugouts now for fans. It's just very dangerous, man. Getting hit at the ball's coming at that speed. You need a glove.
Okay? And nobody's paying attention, especially now with phones.
Yeah,
and
nobody's paying attention. Ball getting it hurts, and it's going to crack your skin open. So here we have the substitution of France, and this is why the French are dangerous. And this is going to be us betting again later in the matches. with Argentina, they have depth, okay, and they've had the ability to be able to move. So I took in the next
Goal! It's over. It's over.
Yeah, France scored. So that $2 bet, so that 500. So I just hit the 2.
It's over. Sorry, Morocco. It was a good run.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your kids. And it's actually the player that he just brought in, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's Mbappe with the assist.
Mbappe with the assist.
Con el cambio they just did. You're right.
So now what we need is we don't need any more goals because now we still got
now I hit. So
2.5.
I invested. So I got a plus 700. Okay, second correct score, second half correct score. France, 2-0.
Yeah, that goes nice. Boop, pass, and boom, golazo.
And immediately on PointsBet, the live betting changed now. So you can bet now, since the score is 2-0 France, you can bet France 2-0, but now it's minus 115. So, you're paying a little bit of a juice, but if you don't think there's going to be any more goals and there's about 10 minutes plus stoppage, and now if you want to go 3-0 France, which I don't want,
and
plus 240.
And that's a quick question. If you score like a second goal or a third goal, does that equal more money for the team and the coach, or it doesn't matter?
No, not more. Now, no, it doesn't have no. It has nothing to do with the goal scored. No, we're good.
But if you win the World Cup, you get a chunk.
Oh yeah. World Cup, you're definitely making some money.
All right, so now let's start looking ahead, boys, to Argentina, France, unless a miracle happens and Morocco scores 2 goals in less than 10 minutes. It looks like it's going to be Messi, Mbappe, Argentina, France, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. on the West Coast. Why would they do it so early? I mean, they've been playing these matches at 2 o'clock. They clearly don't want to go against the NFL. That's my guess.
Well, they also have they want the game to be there a lot earlier. The 7 o'clock right now. This game's, I think it's at 10 p.m. if it's a 1 o'clock game.
Because I think it's what is it, 6-hour difference? It's like prime time in Qatar. The only thing I could possibly think of, and I know we're thinking with the American mind, but you don't want to go against the NFL?
No, maybe that would make sense. The only
if you're the American broadcaster, I don't know the rest of the world. They don't care.
The only bet that we got here was at WonderBet at plus 1,800 that I took that the second half was going to be a draw. In that weird parlay that I took on the two-handed. Obviously, my 2 corner parlays are still active. That corner over for France is not looking great, especially being up that much. Yeah, so
8-hour difference between. I'm in the East Coast, so it's 8 hours later right now in Doha. So it is 20 minutes to midnight in Doha. So the match would start at 10 o'clock Doha time if they played it at 2 o'clock. But so yeah, 10 a.m. makes sense. It's it would be a 6 p.m. local start. But the
Domingo, la gran final.
Don't want to play the final at 10 p.m.
Why does it say 9:30 Eastern if it's 10 Eastern? Oh, maybe they're doing like a big seminar.
Oh, because they want you to watch that pregame show, Papi. That's why they never tell you when the game starts. They tell you when coverage starts.
Good old tricky TV people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
at this point, someone's bet are all blown up with the score.
As long as it stays 2-0, I'm good. I'm good with 2-0.
At this point, or are they safe?
What was that? So like right now my bets are fine, the ones that I took. If anything, I don't want Morocco to score, especially if I take there's like minus 2.5 for the spread to be minus 2.5 for France at plus 210. And then actually both teams to score right now is plus 400, but I don't see Morocco scoring.
Right. That would be the only thing you may want if you wanted to hedge a little bit.
Yeah, you wanted to hedge your bet.
You wanted to hedge asking for a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lightning bet right now. Total free kicks under 0.5. It's not a bad one to take. I will be taking total shots under. No, I like this one. Total throw-ins over 2.5 at plus 400. See if I can get it in.
Look, Morocco's getting a little physical and now more anxious. They keep arguing with the refs.
See, now you can get yellows, you can get reds, you can even get a penalty. Now I would start looking at those in terms of prop bets.
Correct.
Oh man, they missed that free kick.
So I just bet, trying to get this a lightning bet for the cards. So you can put the cards
coming up on the 85th minute. So we'll see how much stoppage they put on it. But France on the way to the World Cup final. And I'll tell you what, I still think it's Messi's World Cup. I get it.
Yes, sir.
I get it. France they're trying to go back to back. First time since when? The 60s when Brazil did it, Ozzie?
Yeah, 62, I believe.
I've seen a meme where after Brazil got eliminated, I didn't realize how many Brazilian followers I have.
Oh, yeah.
And they posted up the meme where it showed Brazil with 5 World Cup champions, and it showed 5 countries that equal up to 5. Which means like it takes 5 countries to equal what we accomplish as one whole team.
Yeah, they're legends, man.
And I'm like, wow, that was interesting.
I'll tell you what, there is it's not bad right now. I mean, if you think that the score is going to stay 2-0, you're paying some juice, but it's minus 155 right now to make that bet on PointsBet that the score is going to be 2-0 France. It's going to stay this way. That's not terrible. I mean, you're paying the juice, but why not?
Facts.
So right now I'm taking on all the lightning bets for every single minute, taking shots on goal. Because you're trying to shoot as many times as you can on goal right now, even if you weren't before. Just stoppage time extra. Here we go. Markets are open.
And if you think Morocco will score a goal, France winning 2-1 is 6-1.
Yeah.
That's all the live betting that we got here on PointsBet. It's the best way to watch a match. Happy you're along on the JefeBet YouTube page. And don't forget, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. in the West Coast, the best coast. It's going to be, looks like France, and we're going to be back live betting during the World Cup.
I need to figure out a way to have my computer on and then have a camera on as well. Look at Hakimi is not happy.
Yeah, they're showing the Morocco fans right now. That's sad.
And the beauty, as soon as that match ends, we go right into NFL Sunday. It's going to be awesome. And we'll, of course, at halftime of that match on Sunday, we will have plenty of NFL bets to get into as well. So it's going to be good times.
Good times.
So Sunday is going to be a good, perfect day for
I think what we'll do for Dimelooo on Friday, I think we'll have the Saturday game because there's 3 NFL games on Saturday. Maybe we'll do the 3 Saturday games. Do a little abbreviated Dimelooo for the Saturday NFL. And then Sunday we'll be live doing Argentina, France. And then halftime we'll have the rest of the Sunday schedule there. It's going to be good time.
We'll do some live betting on Sundays on the NFL.
So hasta candela.
Yeah, put your prop bets in. So right now in the minute 89 to minute 90, we bet that there's going to be a shot on goal with a lightning bet.
Really? How much is that bet?
That bet is plus 650. So for $10, I can win $65.
Nice. It's pretty sad though, Morocco, man, coming this far just to
first freaking country to get this far in a World Cup. Good for them, man.
Pero así es el fútbol.
Así es el fútbol.
I'm gonna have some cocktails in Casablanca tonight to drown the sorrow.
I was gonna say your scenery is a little different from last week.
Yeah,
because it's funny. My neighbor, and I'm not mad. She's getting her roof fixed, so all you hear is pow, 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 pow.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys want to hear that for 4
I'm gonna throw you guys some stats right now. So the 17th place team makes $9 million. The 9th place team, 17 through 32nd get 9 mil. 9 through 16 get 13 mil. 5th through 8th get 17 mil. 4th place gets 25 mil. So right now, the loser of that. So Morocco right now guaranteed at least 25 million.
And that 25 million, they got to split it between the teams?
Depends. FIFA sometimes is corrupt, so it depends on what nation you are. But I'm sure the players will get some. I'm sure it goes between soccer and some of that. So I'm sure in the Morocco, I hope the players get some because obviously not all of them are playing.
Now, here's what I've never understood. This is where I guess, again, coming in the American mind, Morocco will now play Croatia, I believe, on Saturday in a third place game.
Yeah, so for that money, you get to be on the podium. So if you get third place, you get 27 million. So the match is a $2 million match. It's a $2 million purse. And then second place. So France, by just getting in today, guarantees 30 million. Okay, as a second place team, and then the first place team gets 42 million for participating. That's not including marketing and all that.
That's pretty good for a month's work.
Not bad.
6 minutes. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Wow.
Oh, they should have.
Did you think there was 6 minutes of stoppage time, guys? Really? 6 minutes?
That's a lot. If it was a 1-0 game, I'd be really upset if I was France.
6 minutes?
I expected 3.
Yeah, that's how much there was in the first half. And nothing's happened. I mean, there wasn't any. I guess when Mbappe got hit, but man, 6 minutes. Whew.
So Morocco right now plus 400 to score 1 goal over 0.5. And then you can get exact goals scored by Morocco at plus 350 if you want to play the Morocco market for totals.
Still hanging on to that under 2.5 goals total for the match.
Nope, no penal.
And now we're starting to see the sad Moroccan fans.
I don't feel bad. I was crying a couple days ago.
Hey, Casablanca, man. Nothing wrong with that. Telling my wife, we need to go to Morocco.
Oh, that's a foul.
Yeah, that's what I just saw. No penal.
No penal.
That penalty, Ozzie?
Hopefully they keep this aggressive for next game. Yeah, I saw that penalty. That's a penalty for sure. That would have been a shot on goal. I think that would have probably Mbappe playing great. So we'll see right here.
About a little less than 4 minutes to go. Still 2-0 France. Oof. This is where when you have that under like I do right now, you're sweating. You're like, oh my gosh. Here we go. Tick, 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 tick. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Tiene las nalgas apretadas.
That's it. I'm going to have a diamond come out in a minute.
Nice attempt from Morocco.
The books are going to win, though. A lot of money on Mbappe scoring. So he didn't score as of yet. So that won't hit that parlay as of right now. So the yellow cards, only 1 card. Very surprising.
Yeah, pretty clean match otherwise.
Pretty clean match. The corners, man.
Right in the area. Oh, goodness.
4 corners. I made a mistake on that one on the corner bet. I should have hedged my bet with the over. I'm not going to hit that now. So, yeah, the cards, it's 10 fouls each side with only 1 card. So, not a lot of cards. But that corner market, I should have played something live at 4 a couple times. It's been a 4 for over 45 minutes probably since the beginning of the match. So since the second half, so I should have played that. So I'm probably not going to hit that parlay or that specific bet, but that's fine. But I should have done that.
France trying to get to their 4th World Cup final. They're 2nd in a row. Remember, they're the defending champions. So the champions are still alive.
Oh, wow. That goal that France just saved saved a lot of people money right there.
Oh my gosh. It hit the game. There was a French defender next to the keeper, and it literally hit him in the foot.
This is why 6 minutes is different than 3 minutes.
Yeah, this match should be over.
But for us betting, what are you? If that defender's not there,
that's a goal.
Ball is in. Those guys are.
And here's the thing, Ozzie. Not only did it hit the defender, it stopped. It didn't hit the defender and bounce back out.
Another
buddy. Under 2.5 goals still in play with about 90 seconds left. And the whole match seems to be playing on the French side of the field.
Yeah, they're just, again, they're pressuring like it's a 1-0 game. And again, the player
1 minute left.
The player from France did a really good job because he can't foul him there. Okay, you can't foul. Again, you can't be aggressive because it's a penalty kick. And this is the type of play that they need against Koundé needs to, great save. They need that against Argentina. So I did win. Other than Mbappe not scoring, I would have won the 3-leg parlay. So kind of a motivation to win there. I'll win the correct scores. Yeah, we hit two lightning bets.
Yeah, I hedged a little bit, and I took that 2-0 France at -155 just to get a little money back.
Yeah,
because, I had Mbappe anytime goal, so I got the money back. From that. Yeah, that's the beauty of the lightning bets, man. You can try to, you can hedge, you can get some of that back.
So the great thing about when you're doing the live betting is, so like what I do is I took my pregame parlays, I shared them, okay? Then I say, okay, this is how much I put down for my parlay. I want to be able to get that money back. I'll try to get that money back in some type of hedging, or the cash out. They always have the cash out option.
So that's game.
That is game.
Choo-choo.
Se fue Marruecos. Morocco, great job. Thank you for coming. Viva la France.
Enjoy your possibly 25 mil. So we're
25 mil.
Third place is going to be Croatia versus Morocco. And then for the World Cup Sunday, Argentina and France.
Damn.
Allez les bleus! Allez les bleus!
Yep. And then we got a finals. We have two
We got our under 2.5 goals. Yes, we did. Hedge at -155. We got
I'm wearing the goal outfit in the next live.
So
and Mike's gonna be wearing a goat outfit.
Is he gonna be wearing a Messi jersey? Is he gonna be the guy that curses Argentina? I love it. I'm sure you have Argentina fans. I think that you should talk to the Argentina fans and discuss this with them if they're going to be okay. If you have any Argentinian friends, because I know mine are not answering the phone. They're not talking to me.
Che, una milanesa, una milanesa.
Great job, though. Great job by Morocco. Great job by the coach. No one expected them here. And these stats right here that you're looking at, extremely important in live betting because they're giving you the numbers of how the match is ending. So your over under, your match score, scorekeepers, who won. That's important because you get to see like your free kicks, offsides. These are all things that you bet. Pre-match, how many goal kicks, how many free kicks are going to go from either side. So I'm going to put some more pre-game bets before the finals on free kicks and whatnot and corners again.
As soon as those lines come up, we will definitely have them for you. On to some NBA bets now. So we want to thank you for hanging out with us. And remember, Sunday, Mike, Ozzie, me, 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Let's do it again. 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 8 Mountain, 7 a.m. on the West Coast, 5 a.m. in Hawaii.
We'll have the game plan there.
10 a.m. in the hood.
It's going to be Argentina and France for the World Cup, and you can join us. We'll be doing live betting during that game on Sunday, 10 Eastern, right here on the JefeBet YouTube channel, thanks to PointsBet. Hope you made some money today. We made a little cash. Not as much as we did in Argentina, but that's okay. We made a little cash. Now we're going to see what we can do with some NBA tonight. For Mike Ruga and Ozzie Jr. and everybody from PointsBet and JefeBet, I'm Jim Rodriguez. Peace out, and we'll see you Friday for Dimelooo and NFL bets, and Sunday, yes, sir, and Sunday for the World Cup final. Dimelooo!